We all self-sabotage. I mean, that's something that we all have in common. And sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's not okay. And you know that it's not okay when it has been ages, it has been months, it has been years that you have been postponing something important for you, or it has been visible to everybody that you should be doing something else, and yet you are stuck with just doing the same thing just because it's familiar instead of doing what you're meant to be, instead of progressing, instead of growing. Hi, I'm Vassia, and I'm a psychologist, and I love exploring the connection between our mental health and our emotions and how this manifests in our life. And why I'm saying that now that I'm talking about self-sabotage, because behind self-sabotage is fear, the F word, fear, lots of fear, tons of fear. And that's why we are staying small, because we are afraid of pursuing the big dreams, the passions we have. Today, I'm going to take you through, how we sabotage, why we sabotage, and I'm going to show you an exercise that you can do in order to build a little bit of resistance towards self-sabotage, in order to stop the self-sabotage and believe in yourself, in order to stop being so scared about whether you can make it or not, whether you deserve it or not. So that's going to be the exercise we're going to see at the end of this video. Let's start with what is self-sabotage, why we do that. It's, of course, a psychological mechanism that has zero connection with logic. Logically, you know that you have the talent, or logically, you know that you should start writing your book, or that you should ask for a promotion, or that you should start practicing playing music, or that you should publish your music to the audience that is waiting for you to listen to this music, or that you should spend less time in reviewing emails and you should just do more important things on your work, and yet you're stuck. So logically you know that, but something stops you and you cannot move on. So that's the psychological mechanism. And we sabotage, for example, when we avoid, as I said before, we want to start writing a book because we have always wanted to be writers, but just because we don't feel very comfortable with our skills as a writer, we're just continuing our 9 to 5 work. And even though it's something that we don't really like, it pays the bills. Or we sabotage when we are overworking, when we are exhausting ourselves, and that's a perfect excuse not to start writing the book. Oh, I'm so exhausted. I don't have time, or I don't have the energy to actually start writing the book. So that's another self-sabotage. Also, when we procrastinate, when we say that, I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to start, when I'm feeling ready, or when it's the right timing, or when I feel motivated. So yes, we procrastinate that moment of starting following our dreams. Also, when we quit, when we believe that I'm not ready yet, maybe I need another course, maybe I need another coach so that they can help me with finding the skills. Or again, people pleasing. I've talked about people pleasing before. When we people please and we actually help other people succeed and we support them in their dreams, but not in ours, but we're not spending any time supporting ourselves, fulfilling our dreams. So that's these are some ways that we can self-sabotage. But for sure, you know more. For sure, I know more. We've been there, done that. So the first thing that I want you to find, make it more specific, is what is the dream that you're sabotaging yourself from? Find one thing. Let's work with one thing. What is one thing that you have been postponing? What is one thing that you're getting in your way and you're not creating time and space for that? And you might ask me, then why do we sabotage ourselves, since it's so clear that there's no logic in there? First of all, we said the F word, which is fear of failure. We're afraid that what if I start writing my book, but then it's going to be a failure? Everybody will laugh at me. Everybody will see how unskilled writer I am. So we're afraid of being exposed. We're afraid of being humiliated. We're afraid of being rejected. We're afraid of being embarrassed. Absolutely. And that's why we are afraid of failure. This is what it means. We're even afraid of success. Yeah, you've heard that before. I think I've made a video or so. Fear of success means that what if I become a writer and I'm so good, and then people ask me for a second book, but then I'm not going to be able to find ideas. I don't have any ideas for a second book, which you understand that it's also a kind of a fear of failure again. What if I succeed, but then I fail to succeed again, right? So, fear of this responsibilities of success, fear of being in the spotlight, a fear of change. Sometimes we feel so familiar with the comfort zone, even though it's not the dream life. Still, it's we're used to it. We know the drill. We know what to do every day. So it's really difficult to get out of something which is familiar. Another reason why we sabotage ourselves is because we don't believe in ourselves. We lack self-trust. We lack self-efficacy. We believe that we're not going to be able to handle challenges that the next step will throw at our way. We believe that we're not good enough. As I said before, this good enough is really very strong in people who self sabotage. Another reason is that we believe that we don't deserve it. Who am I? I haven't worked that hard in order to deserve success. And if you know about imposter syndrome, probably this is what you thought right now. Yes, exactly. This is exactly the not deserving the success that is behind self sabotage, behind imposter syndrome as well. And the last but not least reason why we sabotage is because we don't know what really matters. Sometimes we're confused. We know that the part of us likes to write, but we don't know exactly how hard we want that dream, how passionate we are about that. And this is when we really don't spend time enough in order to get in contact with ourselves, with our values, and with our passions and needs. So that it makes sense why we don't pursue it, because we don't know how much it matters actually. We have a feeling of discomfort or unhappiness, but we don't really know where it's coming from. So only through self-awareness and self-exploration we actually realize, and usually that happens during moments of existential crisis. We realize that, oh my God, this is it. That's why I'm miserable, because I don't fulfill my passions and my dreams. And of course, we make tons of excuses. I'm not ready yet. I need to do only this and then I will start. I don't know how to do it. I can manage by myself. I don't need any help, or it's a lot of work. And then we postpone, postpone, postpone. What I would like to share with you now is let's reverse this fear of failure. Let's reverse this lack of self trust. Let's see how we can start believing in ourselves again. And of course, deserving the dream. So that's the exercise that I would like to ask you to practice together with me, or of course, in your own time. Think of one example of the past where you stepped out of your comfort zone, or in other words, where something challenging happened. You became a parent, or you got into university, or you had to give some really difficult exams, anything challenging. Think about something that was out of your comfort zone, new, and also difficult. And when you think about that, I want you to focus on the part of you that really did your best in order to overcome this challenge. Somehow you survived it. You're here, you're watching this video. Somehow you survived this challenge. So, what I would like you to think now is think of 3 personality traits that help you go through this challenge. You're funny, seeing the positive side of life, for example, and that helped you stay in the game. Or you are very organized, analytical, and you know what to do next, your steps. Or you're resilient, or you are kind and polite, and it always helps when you're asking for help. So gather 3 personality traits that helped you overcome this challenge. Now, think of 3 skills you have in you and that helps you. And that can be, for example, you know how to manage a project, you know how to manage tasks, you know how to prioritize, you know how to organize the space around you. Think of 3 skills that you have. Maybe relationship skills, maybe organizational skills, whatever skills that help you go through this process. Or you're good at researching, finding information, finding available help out there. And the third thing that I would like you to think is think of 3 resources that help you. And that can be either people, maybe a person from your environment, maybe a person from your work, a mentor, maybe somebody you're watching, for example, their YouTube channel and they're inspiring you going through the challenges, or maybe somebody's book you've read and you got some ideas. So it can be a project, it can be a person, it can be a book, it can be any resource that you have. It can be a forum, it can be a community of people who you lean to when you want some support, some advice. So find these three categories: one, personality traits; one, skills; and one, resources that help you in order to go through challenges, especially when you want that you're not going to make it. With this exercise, what we are strengthening is your idea, your self-esteem, and the idea of you handling anything that life throws on you. Even if it sounds or it seems difficult, this dream that you have, or overwhelming, instead of focusing on the difficulties, you're focusing on all the resources you already have. You don't need to invent them. You don't need to discover them. You already have, and they can help you when you start again with your new dream, with your new challenge. This is how we start stopping. We start stopping self-sabotage. This is how we defeat self-sabotage. This is how we actually defeat anxious, negative thoughts. This is how we defeat our inner critic. This is how we focus on the positive and the strengths we already have. So do that and let me know in the comments whether that helps you. Looking forward to hearing from you. And also, if you need any extra support, I will also have extra resources for you in the descriptions. And of course, my course on how to stop fear of failure and be comfortable with daring. Have a look at it, because that's going to be really valuable support in anything you are trying to start. And of course, fear of failure sabotages you, and we don't want that. Thank you for being here. Have a good day, and of course, take good care of yourself.